Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen, today we got a Pangolin video. We're going to go over the price action. We're going to go over the monthly recap, and we're just going to see what's up with this coin. Is it still worth the buy? Is it still worth the hold? And where do we think it's going to be in the very near future and the future in general? All right. So listen, right? Obviously, when we just look at the chart right away, the price action has not looked pretty for the last, couple weeks, right? We were holding it nice for a while. We were consolidating pretty much, let's just say, ranging from roughly 30 cents to an average of 37, 38 cents, right? Things were already looking solid, already looking promising. But we can see as of right now, on February 1st, we are back to prices that we were in for a very long time, right? These prices were going from pretty much the start of August until, let's just say, roughly the end of November, so a couple of months. And, we had some glory, we had some success, and things are just kind of falling flat, right? That is just the reality, right? Unfortunately, it seems to me that we're not even really holding this big consolidation zone that we were in for months. Like we're already near the bottom, and it just looks like, you know, we will continue going lower, maybe roughly to 18 and a half to 16 cents, somewhere in that range, which is not, it's not a good look, right? You know, a big zone like this, right? A big zone like this should have some weight on it, right? It should have some value. It should be holding at least, right? It should be doing something like this roughly where he kind of goes in and kind of just does this and, and respects it, right? Because there's months and months of support built up. There's months and months of orders built up, but we can see it's just kind of bleeding out. um, we are near the bottom of it, right? We are near the bottom of it, which is like roughly 20 to 21 cents. So we'll see how next week plays out. As of today is a Saturday, so not much price action will happen. Sunday, only the last few hours of it, so like it can move. And then obviously next week, we'll see how that plays out, right? Something that is obviously contributing to Pangolin's, let's just say, downfall, which it's not its downfall, but Pangolin's journey down is, Bitcoin dominance is already recovering, right? Bitcoin dominance is already recovering, right? We talked about how I I expected a dump off of this 60% area, right? And that's exactly what happened. We got to 59.87%. And I did say, probably a 2% dump is likely, like 1 to 2%. And we pretty much just got 1%, right? 1% dump. And we can see we are already looking to be going back up to retest this. Most likely we will go up higher, right? Because the higher time frame suggests that we will. And some people might be, well, why is this relevant? Well, I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, most times Bitcoin dominance goes up means altcoins are going to bleed. It doesn't have to be this way, but most times it is, especially if Bitcoin is going down. If Bitcoin were to go up $30,000 tomorrow and the dominance skyrocketed to 65%, hypothetically, we would still have a very nice green day. Alts would pump, everything would pump, right? But that was just a nice hypothetical, right? Most of the time, when Bitcoin dominance goes up, altcoins start struggling. And especially if Bitcoin goes down and altcoin dominance goes up, or sorry, Bitcoin dominance goes up, that's when it's a double slam to us, right? And we can see that Bitcoin has dropped, roughly to 101,700 area. And I did say in a different video, but I'll say here just in case you missed it, I do expect some kind of pullback roughly to 104, $105,000, right, going to this area to continue selling off personally, right? We are still worried about this over here, the 92, 93K area, right? So we will be looking and monitoring that this whole time. It doesn't have to happen technically, but we will see how price is and how price plays out. Now, in terms of the recap, let's just jump into it, right? It's already been a couple minutes. So let's just jump right into it, right? We can see, monthly recap came out, and let's just jump into it. So, Pangolin version 3 auto report from Paladin received. and resolutions are currently being applied. This marks an important step ensuring the platform security and enhancing functionality, right? We see that we also lead in terms of unique active wallets, right? So even though there's many wallets, right, the volume compared to so many of these other platforms is extremely low, right? Um, is extremely low. But see what this guy said. What good does this do if you're slow in construction, you have been promising fee for over a year and you're probably having a hard time opening the to pay. Ooh, I mean, damn. Listen, we'll always be honest, but yeah, he brings up definitely a good point. I did, you know, anyways, but still, right? This is still a good sign. The volume is low though, so that is not a good sign. We want more and more volume, but the fact that there's a lot of users activity, that is good as long as it's not being botted or anything like that. Pangolin and Avalanche saw strong MAU growth, right? So we can see, there's been growth, right? This is exactly what we want to see, right? Of course, from Pangolin and from Avalanche, right? We are under the Avalanche chain, so it is very, very, very important. We also see that we did get listed on a few exchanges in January, so that is fantastic, right? We covered this a couple weeks ago. So overall, we can see, mainly nice green flags, some small green flags, some big green flags, maybe a few minor red flags, right, in terms of how long the version 3 is taking and the amount of liquidity that is getting swapped. But generally speaking, right, it's still a good direction. The price is obviously a little low, but many coins are suffering. Renders back to pretty much 550. Turbo is down like so much from all-time highs. So many coins are suffering, right? It's not just a Pangolin issue. Definitely, if they completed version 3 and did some other stuff, of course, we could see a price increase, probably like right away. But I mean, you know, you got to remember the thing that moves markets is pretty much big money, and big money is definitely going to be waiting and looking at us at Pangolin to see, are they actually done, right? Once they're done, version 3, I'm sure we'll see a spike in, growth, money, I mean anything, right? Like literally everything you think of, right, will instantly be more on people's radar. So that is the most important thing. Last and final thing, pretty much, right? Pangolin reached out to builders for true partnership, right? So that is good. And then they did, the super farms, right? Super farms continue to emit rewards on Pangolin. Super farms are still active on Pangolin, offering dual rewards, right? So, you know, solid stuff, solid month, right? Let's see what this guy says. The stupidest stuff is coming soon, but it's a year later. Dumb stuff. You lack integrity when you this. Oh, not even proper English. I mean, look, people are upset. People want version 3. I want version 3, right? I'm personally, I did say, January was kind of like my month. I'll see how the beginning of February goes to mid February, but it does become a little bit like annoying at a certain point. Like how long does something just take? Right? It's not like we're asking them to build a freaking tower. We're not asking them you know to do something like next level insane. So we'll see. We'll see. No bias towards a coin, right? I'm not here to marry a project. I'm not here thing. I'm just simply here to buy low, sell high, and I still am holding my pangolin position. But I'll let you guys know how things change, or if anything changes over the next couple of weeks. If there's more and more green signs of listings and other things happening, then I will hold. But if it's just going to be a bunch of yap from the team, then personally I'm out, right? So we'll see. We'll see. And love you guys so much. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.